On August 14, 2005, a routine flight from Larnaca, Cyprus to Athens, Greece, turned into one of the most mysterious and haunting aviation incidents in history. Helios Airways Flight 522, a Boeing 737-300, carrying 115 passengers and 6 crew members, vanished from radio contact shortly after takeoff, leaving air traffic controllers and rescue teams scrambling for answers. What happened next would baffle investigators and experts for years as the tragic events unfolded like a chilling puzzle. The routine start. Helios Airways Flight 522 took off at 9:07 a.m. local time. The weather was clear and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. The plane was expected to reach Athens within 90 minutes. The passengers included families, vacationers, and crew members who were familiar with the route. Among them was Andreas Prodromou, a flight attendant and trained pilot whose role would later become a focal point in the investigation. Shortly after takeoff, the aircraft began its ascent, but troubling signs emerged. The flight crew reported issues with the air conditioning system, citing irregularities in the pressurization of the cabin. Maintenance teams in Larnaca had already noted concerns about the system before the flight, but the aircraft was deemed fit to fly after inspections. As the plane reached cruising altitude, air traffic controllers in Athens attempted to contact the crew to confirm their approach path. No response came from the cockpit. Repeated calls went unanswered, raising immediate concerns. The aircraft, still on autopilot, continued its course toward Athens, maintaining altitude but showing no signs of deviation or manual intervention. Greek military jets were scrambled to intercept the unresponsive plane. As the fighter pilots approached, they were met with an eerie sight. The cockpit appeared empty, or at least devoid of any activity. Both the captain and first officer were slumped over their controls, unresponsive. The cabin itself seemed lifeless, with oxygen masks dangling from the ceiling, an unsettling testament to what might have unfolded inside. A lone figure. Amid the haunting stillness, one movement caught the attention of the fighter pilots. A lone figure, dressed in a flight attendant's uniform, was seen entering the cockpit. This was later identified as Andreas Prodromou. He appeared to be attempting to regain control of the aircraft. Using portable oxygen, Prodromou tried to navigate the situation, but his efforts came too late. The plane's fuel was depleting, and at 12:04 p.m., after nearly 3 hours of silent flight, the Boeing 737 ran out of fuel. It began a rapid descent before crashing into a hillside near Grammatico, just north of Athens. There were no survivors. The crash investigation, led by the Hellenic Air Accident Investigation and Aviation Safety Board, revealed chilling details. The primary cause of the tragedy was identified as a failure in the pressurization system. As the plane climbed to cruising altitude, the cabin failed to pressurize properly, causing a gradual loss of oxygen, hypoxia, that incapacitated both the crew and passengers. But the question remained, why did no one take action? A series of miscommunications and errors compounded the situation. During pre-flight checks, a maintenance engineer had reportedly left the pressurization system on manual mode after testing it. This crucial oversight went unnoticed by the flight crew, who failed to switch the system back to automatic. As the plane ascended, warning alarms sounded, but they were misinterpreted. The crew believed the issue was related to the air conditioning system rather than cabin pressurization. By the time the effects of hypoxia set in, causing confusion, impaired judgment, and eventually unconsciousness, it was too late to rectify the mistake. The heroic effort. Andreas Prodromou's actions in the final moments of the flight highlight an extraordinary attempt to save lives. As the only individual with enough oxygen and training, he managed to remain conscious longer than others. Investigators believe he tried to take control of the plane, possibly intending to land it or communicate with air traffic control. Unfortunately, the lack of fuel and critical time lost made recovery impossible. The Helios Flight 522 disaster sent shockwaves through the aviation industry. It underscored the importance of rigorous maintenance procedures, thorough pre-flight checks, and effective crew training. Airlines around the world implemented stricter protocols for handling pressurization systems and responding to in-flight emergencies. The tragedy also led to changes in how warning alarms are designed and presented in cockpits. Standardized alerts now aim to reduce the risk of misinterpretation, ensuring that pilots can quickly identify and address life-threatening issues. The human toll. For the families of the 121 victims, the loss was immeasurable. The tragedy claimed lives from multiple nations, leaving a lasting scar on communities in Cyprus and Greece. Memorials have been erected in their honor, serving as somber reminders of the lives cut short and the lessons learned at such a high cost. Despite the thorough investigation, Some aspects of the Helios Flight 522 mystery remain unsettling. Why did the maintenance team overlook the critical pressurization setting? Could more have been done to equip flight attendants like Prodramou with tools to handle such emergencies? These lingering questions continue to fuel discussions in aviation safety circles, as experts strive to prevent similar tragedies. Helios Airways ceased operations in 2006, less than a year after the crash, leaving behind a legacy intertwined with one of aviation's most haunting stories. The Helios Flight 522 disaster is a stark reminder of the delicate balance between human error and technological reliability. It's a story of tragedy, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of answers in the face of unimaginable loss. Thank you for watching.